Hello everybody, Tikios here. For this video we're going to be looking at this new legendary heroes in Season 4. We're going to be going Radiance and Lightning.
High noon, the 27th spin, 3 degrees to the northeast, yellow-tinted azure light. Ominous.
Okay, I'm going to try to go through a little quick just because I think my video cuts off at 10 minutes on YouTube. Sorry, a little bit of explanation. And then, alright, the attack aura increases all allies' attack by 30% in all battles. The passive enters a blaze state when possessing 100 aura energy. When aura allies consume aura energy, recharges 5% ultimate energy and grants 1 stack of crit damage up to the aura ally with the most attack and Shahla herself up to 20 stacks. This effect can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. So it's a nice little damage boost for herself and her aura ally, who hopefully the other one's a main damage dealer. And you'd probably want to build somebody else with more attack than her so 2 people get the benefit, not just her. Alright, battle skills are 3x3 square. Gains 15 aura energy and deals radiant damage to the enemy and the nearby enemies. The hero gains extra 10 aura damage when hitting only one enemy. While in blaze state, consumes 5 aura energy and deals additional 4% max HP. 4% of the target's max HP radiant damage, no more than 200% of the hero's attack. And the ultimate is a single target skill. It starts single target, but the hero gains 30 aura energy and releases an energy wave that can bounce between enemies up to 4 times. Each bounce deals 350% attack radiant damage to them. If the energy wave does not bounce after being released, 40% of the consumed ultimate energy will be returned, while in blaze state consumes 20 aura to deal extra 5% target's max HP radiant damage, and the number of bounces increased to 6 times. So this is a skill where you're going to want to use this when there are multiple enemies, preferably 2 enemies, and it'll bounce back and forth between the 2. This is not going to be a good single target damage ability for a single boss. Alright, now we'll go to...
Why must wood elves be rooted in forests? How boring would it be?
I think her name pronounced Yfeir, but I could be wrong. It's a support, and this is actually an exclusive for Season 4, so he will not appear in the Blessed or Celestial banners, but he also does not have an artifact for himself since he's a support. Alright, the crit damage aura increases all allies' crit damage by 45% in Grand Gladiator Arena battles. His passive, for every 15 times of damage dealt or taken by the hero and his clones, they will enter an undispellable invisibility for 3 seconds. A clone will be summoned at the same time. As the battle starts, grants invisibility and summons a clone, up to 5 clones on the battlefield at the same time. So basically, if you can keep the clones alive, it's going to be easier to refresh and get more clones later in the battle since there will be more on the battlefield. Now his battle skills are 3x3 square. Places a clone near the enemy with the highest attack, deals 300% attack radiant damage to nearby enemies, with the clone as the center with a 100% chance to inflict taunt on them for 3.5 seconds. And of course, taunt, the unit is forced to launch basic attacks on the taunt caster. So that's a good way to reduce the damage of the enemy's main damage dealer. Now the ultimate's a diamond shape, jumps to the target area and deals 640% attack radiant damage to the enemies within range, with a 75% chance to inflict attack penalty 2 on them for 10 seconds. Meanwhile, the hero gains attack speed up 2 for 10 seconds and enhances his basic attacks for 12 seconds. In this period, basic attacks deal 75% attack radiant damage to enemies twice and heal the hero and all clones by 5% max HP. So the fact that the basic attacks are doing damage twice, I think each one is 75% attack, so that's 150% attack total, but the fact that it deals twice is going to help the passive and helps him deal 15 stacks of damage dealt or damage taken, and he'll get more clones on the battlefield. So it's interesting, his kit's based around attack penalty 2, taunting, and basically reducing the damage the enemy damage dealers can do. So I'd build him with HP and let him help keep your own team alive.
Those bragging about rules and discipline all day are definitely hiding something.
Okay, now Orfenna is a Thunderbolt legendary. The aura increases all allies' enlightenment by 60% in all battles. When dealing damage to enemies with basic attacks, there's a 75% chance to refresh their electrocuted and launch Thunderbolt at them once. So with her, you're going to want to increase attack speed as much as possible so that she can refresh electrocuted and trigger Thunderbolt and help build Procunti stacks. Battle skill strikes an enemy 3 times, each dealing 175% attack lightning damage and having a 60% chance to inflict electrocuted on them for 6 seconds. When enemies are under electrocuted, this damage ignores 30% of their defense. Okay. And battle skill is a full board. Enters overload state and gains attack speed up 2 for 15 seconds. While in the overload state, basic attacks can shoot 2 extra bullets to deal 300% attack lightning damage, with each bullet prioritizing a different target. So, since this overload state lasts for 15 seconds, this is really just to help her passive continue to refresh electrocuted and launch Thunderbolt, which Thunderbolt does not deal a ton of damage, but it will help Procunti gain stacks. So I'm interested to see if she is a good enabler for him, because some of the previous Thunderbolt enablers were subpar. Okay, so I'm really interested to play around with her and see if she's any good.
Few are to my liking at first glance, and you are one of them.
Okay, now the new lightning tank, Maashtur, he is also an exclusive, so he will not be in the Celestial or Blessed banners either, but he also will not have an artifact since he's a tank. His HP aura increases all allies' HP by 45% in Grand Gladiator Arena. His passive, as the battle starts, grants Great River's favor to the ally with the highest crit damage. The ally under Great River's favor gains a 10% max HP shield for 5 seconds when taking damage, and Maashtur takes 60% of that damage instead. This effect can only take effect once every 12 seconds. Whenever taking damage for the ally, Maashtur recharges ultimate energy by 20% and has a 100% chance to inflict taunt on the enemy with the most ultimate energy for 3 seconds. If Maashtur's HP is higher than the enemy's, this debuff cannot be resisted. So you're going to want to build him with a lot of HP, and his passive is mostly to help keep your damage dealer alive. Alright, his passive deals 240% attack plus 8% max HP lightning damage to the enemy with the most ultimate energy and reduces their ultimate energy by 12%. If the enemy's ultimate energy is still higher than 50% after being reduced, there is a 100% chance to inflict stun on them for 5 seconds. If Maashtur's HP is higher than the enemy's, the debuff inflicted cannot be resisted. Afterwards, Maashtur and the ally under Great River's favor will choose this enemy as the target to attack. So, a single target control ability, and now his ultimate, single target, strikes the enemy 3 times, with each strike dealing 200% attack plus 4% max HP lightning damage. The first strike has a 100% chance to inflict attack penalty 2 for 10 seconds. The second strike has a 100% chance to inflict recharging speed penalty for 10 seconds. The third strike has a 100% chance to inflict accuracy penalty 2 for 10 seconds. If Maashtur's HP is higher than the enemy's, the debuff cannot be resisted. Grants control immunity and crit hit resistance for 10 seconds to all allies. If the enemy is defeated or possesses 3 or more debuffs, Maashtur grants a 10% max HP shield to the allies under Great River favor. So that's a lot to take in. Can't say exactly how he's going to work, but it seems like he's really built around keeping your best damage dealer alive and inflicting control on the enemy, which I'm very curious to see how that plays out in actual game battles. Alright, thanks everybody. Appreciate everybody who joined me. Have a good one.